possibly I don't know why, but I just buy everything. This is like my Evil Dead, where people buy every copy of Evil Dead imaginable.
Yeah.
For me, I get every 13th Warrior.
For me, it's Planet of the Apes. I have every conceivable edition of Planet of the Apes.
Nice, and Deep Blue Sea too. I have the original. The Deep Blue Sea is the first DVD I ever bought.
Wow, that's a good first DVD.
Yeah.
See,
yeah.
When I first got my DVD player, DVDs were few and far between, so you kind of had to buy what you could. So my first two, I got my DVD player for my birthday, and then I went and bought DVDs. And so my first two were the first Fast and the Furious movie.
Oh.
And Dude, Where's My Car?
I mean, 2 car-themed movies. You had something going on there.
No, it was definitely the party pack for the night.
I paid I paid $238 for a DVD player that was massive in my junior year in high school.
Huge.
Yeah, and I used my Burger King money for it.
See, I feel like we would have got along in high school.
All right, so
because I was the guy in high school that was like the champion of the laser disc.
Oh man, that'd have been fun. I never could afford the laser discs.
Well, I got here's the real secret is I got a laser disc player and 5 laser discs from a yard sale.
What?
In like in 98. Or no, sort of like maybe it was 97. So it was before DVDs were like even out yet. And so I was like, this is the future of, it blew my mind. I had only heard about them. And then I got one. I think I paid $50 for the whole thing. And it was like Blade Runner.
Whoa.
And yeah, no, it was good stuff. It was Blade Runner, Alien. What were the other? There was one that was like a Hitchcock movie.
Whoever bought these were awesome. Whoever sold this Laserdisc is a cool person.
It is a cool person. So shout out to that guy wherever he is. But I was like, you guys and your VHS, it's Laserdisc is the future. So I like rebelled against DVDs for a little while, and I finally got on board with Fast and the Furious and Dude, Where's My Car?
Do you own Roadhouse on Laserdisc?
No, but I do own it on DVD twice.
Yep, me too. I have the VHS, the DVD, and the Blu-ray.
Well, I had the DVD, then I had to get the DVD that had the Kevin Smith commentary.
Yes, that's why I bought it. I bought it for the Kevin Smith commentary. That's
and all
awesome.
he does is make Chuck Norris jokes.
All right, so here's the deal. We knocked out 13th Warrior. Now we have something special for you all. We were going to open with this, but we wanted to get done with 13th Warrior. What we did was Adam and I are going to figure out, we're going to put together our own 14 Warriors. We're each going to have 7 each. So, but we picked 9 each in case there's overlap, correct? So yes, I guess
if there's doubles.
We'll just announce our 7, and if there's doubles, we'll drop the last 2.
And the rules that we gave ourselves was that it needed to be a human that could exist in our reality.
Yeah, no Legolas.
So it can be from like a future or a past walker, like no one with powers, no Deadpool, but a human that could be in. If I need to put together, Mark and I were like, let's take 14 people and go mess up some people in bear costumes. These would be feasible in our reality.
Yeah, exactly. There would be like we could find them in our world, not space. Exactly
right.
like you said.
And again, there's always a little bit of wiggle room, but no powers that would give them an unfair advantage in a fight.
Now I cheated and I added one person from a TV show.
Okay, and that's cool too. I didn't go down that road, but
I had to do it, and you'll understand.
No, and you know what? I think I love you more for it. So do you want to go one each back and forth?
Yeah, go for it. You go first.
Okay, so my first pick, my first draft pick was Nick Parker from the movie Blind Fury, played by Rutger Hauer.
Nick Parker, Blind Fury.
Have you seen Blind Fury?
I have not. What's he all about?
So Nick Parker was a Vietnam POW that got shrapnel in his eyes and went blind, but was trained how to stick fight and sword fight by a general in a POW camp. So then the story picks up with Brendan Call from Step by Step. He is angry at his mom because his mom is getting a divorce from his dad died. His dad was Rutger Hauer's buddy in Vietnam. And so Rutger Hauer goes to pick this kid up and take him to his mom's house, but then there's like mobsters that want to steal him. So then blind Rutger Hauer reveals that his walking cane is actually a hidden sword and he's blind and he takes on a whole like squad of mobsters trying to kidnap Brendan Call.
Whoa.
Yeah, no, it is a dynamite movie.
All right, so we got Rutger Hauer running amok. So my first pick is Artemisia from 300: Rise of an Empire, played by Eva Green.
Okay.
Because
Very good.
she just chews the scenery and just enjoys every second that she's on screen and just owns it. And she's also like decapitates a dude and then kisses him. She's like just ruthless. If she's on your squad, you probably are going to be afraid of her. But in combat, like she led her army of people called immortals. She led an army of people, an elite, like she runs in front of them. Like she controls an army of, quote unquote, immortals. And
she leads a hand-to-hand combat battle over several boats.
Yes, and I just love how in that movie that Eva Green has zero inhibitions. She just owns it, and she just chews the scenery, and everybody around her. I like Sullivan Stapleton. I thought he was good in the movie, but everybody around her just becomes background fodder because she's so good in it.
Oh no, it's her stage in that movie, 100%.
Yeah, so I got Artemisia. Who's your second pick?
Okay, so my second pick, and I will be okay if you contest this one, but I picked John Rambo from Rambo 4, wielding just his homemade sword knife.
That's the one in the 2000s, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm with it.
Because he forges it himself, and I think every good sword movie has a forging scene, and it's bigger than an average knife should be, and he does cut a guy in half with it.
Yeah. All right.
I just think a John Rambo on my team is always a good idea.
I love it. So no weapons. Oh, he could have a bow and arrow too.
He could, but I think he's at his best when he just has his knife sword.
So I could imagine him running next to Artemisia.
No, I'm already in my head, and Rutger Hauer is like in the Blind Fury movie. You gotta watch it, Mark. But he always plays like the bumbling Mr. Magoo blind man until he pulls his sword out. So I'm picturing these two like charging the battle, and he's like bumbling beside them, kind of like playing up the comedy.
Then he just surprises about 18 bear people, and they're like, "Oh my gosh!" All right, so my second pick is this one is from a TV show, but it's Lagertha from Vikings, played by Catherine Winnick, and I've always thought she was like my favorite part of the show. But I love in the latest season, there's a massive battle, and she is killing people with a sword in one hand and a decapitated head in the other. She's stabbing people, and then she's hitting them with a head.
I love when people hit each other with body parts.
I mean, actually, there's like between Artemisia and Lagertha, there's a bunch of decapitations going on here. But I don't know, I just think she's cool. I think she would add something different to it. I like her as a character, and I just want to see Lagertha in like a big movie that has $100 million budget hitting people with decapitate. If she took the bear head, she could do some damage with that.
Yeah, I like that we're going down two separate paths here. I was scared we were going to be thinking the same kind of logic, but I don't think we're going to have to get to our two extras. I think we're well apart here. My third pick is Cleric John Preston from Equilibrium.
Oh,
and that was my deep cut Sean Bean movie.
Oh wow, so Christian Bale.
Christian Bale, he those sword fights in that movie were just second to none.
You know what I love about that movie is no one in that film can challenge him. There's that scene where Tay Diggs is like, we're gonna battle till the death, and then he just wipes him out, like nothing.
The closest he comes to getting defeat is a small amount of blood on his collar at the end.
Yeah. he just wipes I love it. Oh man, he would kill a lot of bear people.
He would. So that's my third pick was Cleric John Preston.
If y'all haven't watched Equilibrium, you should definitely do it because Sean Bean's in it, and Christian Bale just wipes people out.
And they drive around in Dodge Shadows.
Really?
That's the police cars, like 93 Dodge Shadows.
My first car was a 94 Shadow.
There you go. You could be a policeman in Equilibrium.
Oh my goodness. All right, so my next pick is Shinzemon from 13 Assassins.
Nice. I knew that. You talked about that earlier. I'm like, oh, that's one of his picks.
Because I think he would be the leader. And he brought together these really random 13 guys, totally different. They all trusted him blindly. They didn't question anything he did. He led every single battle. He was there at the end. He was just the best dude. Everybody here, like everybody, would just be like, all right, Shinzemon's a leader. They wouldn't even have to have a vote. Like, do we need a vote? No. So I think he's the Bullwife of the group.
I was gonna say because Bullwife is very much that. Like, no one, you don't discuss that because it's just a known fact.
Yeah. So if y'all haven't seen 13 Assassins, it's by Takashi Miike, and there's tons of blood and gore and violence. And also then watch Blade of the Immortal. There's more blood and violence in that as well. So watch those two, and a lot of limbs get hacked. All right, who's your next pick?
My next pick is Robert Roy McGregor from Rob Roy, played by Liam Neeson. Just because he grabs Tim Roth's sword at the end and cleaves the man in half.
Yes, I was about to say that. I was like, let me guess. I think that's one of the more iconic sword fights of all time, and that's not hyperbole.
No, and it's because Tim Roth was a better swordsman, but Rob Roy was a better man.
And he catches a sword.
Yeah. And he calls him in the beginning. He says, I'll take the claymore. And then Tim Roth is like, oh, you're using your big... And he's all tired. And he just plays him like a fool and cuts him right in half.
And he catches a sword.
Yeah. And I think that's the most rewarding kill that I've seen in a movie in a long time, because Tim Roth is scum in that movie.
Yeah, he's super trash.
And just seeing him cleaved in half is beyond rewarding.
Well, have you noticed the pattern here? We have... when Christian Bale kills Taye Diggs is such a turd. And then Rob Roy, when he kills Tim Roth, he's such a turd. And then you have Shinzei
when John
Man.
Rambo kills all of Burma.
They're a bunch of turds. All right. This next pick you may think is a joke. It's kind of jokey, but it's also very serious. And it's Farmer from In the Name of the King, Jason Statham.
There's no joking there. There is no joking there.
Because the movie's horrible, and it features the worst sword fight of all time between Michael Madsen and Meatloaf. Like, they're both sweating after one sword swing. But in this movie, Statham destroys, I think, 57 people. Just running around, jumping on heads, slashing people. When his sword fight goes, he just runs. And he's like fluid.
And let's not forget that the sequel of that stars our man Dolph.
Yeah, and wearing a tiny scarf. And just insulting people.
The whole time.
Yeah, he wears a little scarf. And he insults people the entire movie. I almost added him, but I'm like, nah, I like scarves, but that was an unnecessary scarf.
Okay, so my next one you might also think is a joke, but it's not. Dar from The Beastmaster, played by Mark Singer.
I love it.
I love me some Beastmaster. And he's with that sword, so good.
He would just crush everybody?
Yeah, I'm going to say the movie I watched the most in my childhood was The Beastmaster, and it's all I wanted to be for, like, just I think Dar the Beastmaster just holds a special place in my heart. So even if he's not the greatest swordsman, he has a part in my team.
I love it. Dar will crush it. My next one is kind of meta, but I'm doing Antonio Banderas from Zorro. So Zorro from Zorro.
So I struggled with that. I had it written down a long time. And then I was like, it was too meta for me. But then I thought in this, what we're talking about, I think that his style of sword fighting wouldn't be compatible with what we're going into.
I think he would adapt.
And you know what? You're not wrong. He would definitely adapt. And again, it was on my list and off my list about 4 times.
I just want to have him in here. I love the character of Zorro. I like Antonio Banderas. I want him to have more movies. I need to watch the first Zorro again, because remember that sword fight at the end between him and the Blondie dude? Yeah. That was a great sword fight.
It was fantastic.
And then
those 2 movies you watch quite a bit with our kids, and they don't get unentertaining.
Never. All right, who you got next?
Okay, here we go. This is because I want my team to be as entertaining as possible. I have Matthias from The Scorpion King, played by The Rock.
He never misses.
He has a 100% sword accuracy rating.
And his arrows, too. He's too fast for a guy who can't get hit by arrows.
No, well, he can like build a house using arrows. He just, instead of nails, he just...
I love him. So I wrote an article, and we'll cover it later in a future podcast. But I wrote about an article about all of the property damage in his films for Rotten Tomatoes, and I watched Scorpion King again, and I missed the rundown Scorpion King Dwayne Johnson.
Right. Well, I think that's because he wasn't Dwayne Johnson, then he was The Rock.
Yeah.
And he was definitely being The Rock in those movies.
And he was, I don't know, in a rundown, he almost lost some fights. And now rubber bullets don't hurt him. So I like him a lot in Scorpion King.
Yeah, no, I think Scorpion King is a tarnished property because of like the sequels and just how lame it got with Randy Couture and stuff. But that first one is very much enjoyable. So I wrote this and then someone copied me. I swear. I wrote one time on Reddit
and then someone used it for Wikipedia, and then someone shared that Wikipedia